Okay, let's get started.
Well, the advance reviews for Avatar Fire and Ash are out, and people are fired up and being left in the dust, which is similar to Ash, by its visual effects. James Cameron has another whale on his hands, and I'm not talking about Tulkun. Amy, has the fire from Avatar have you running? Sorry about that. Does the fire from Avatar have you running to a movie theater because you're caught on fire and you have to run, from being caught on fire by these advanced reviews?
I keep forgetting about it, but you're telling me that people are saying it's good?
Yes. People are fired up and being left in the dust / ash by how amazing it is. And I've only seen about 7 or 8 advanced reviews, and they are all huge. 4 stars from The Guardian, 4 out of 5. Peter Travers says it's an emotional roller coaster.
Wow.
Good so far. So does that make you were already probably going to see it, but does it now make you a little happier?
Yeah, I'll have to carve out the time. I don't know, it's so many hours, but I'll definitely see it. The last one, I can't even talk about Tulkun. That shit upset me deeply.
Oh, I know. It's so sad. He goes, have you ever seen a whale cry? And then a tear falls out of his eyes because he's just so upset. I couldn't believe that. They're saying that James Cameron threw the Avatar rule book in the trash for this one.
What do you mean?
He's going rogue. He's going rogue. He's never done a fire planet type of thing, not. It's the fire world that he's inhabited. People are saying like the villains, like these Avatar fire Na'vi, are like villainous and stuff, and they're saying he threw the rule book in the trash.
He had to cover all the elements.
Totally. It makes me excited. And people are saying it's better than Way of Water. I think Peter Travers or Magnolia Darvis said that it's better than Way of Water, which I already liked. So Does fire beat water?
Wow, for once.
You know what I mean? Like if Deadline wanted to do an article, will fire beat water? Because normally it wouldn't, right? Because fire stands no match against.
I am curious if it could make more money. I don't know where we're at as a community on if the Avatar movies can keep beating each other forever, but I hope it does.
I hope so too. And I really hope Zootopia 2 respectfully, those characters bow respectfully to Avatar to let them have their way. Like pull it out of theaters, let Avatar have a sweep. And I'm still trying to convince Penny and Megan if they'll let me, on the 20th, go see Avatar for 3.5 hours. I said, at Alamo Drafthouse, Penny could just play with those VHS tapes that they have in that game room if you guys need to slip out. I could just be drinking margaritas, and whatever Penny needs, Alamo Drafthouse has it.
Yeah, she can just pull the tape out of all the VHSs for hours.
I think it's those things where it's the semblance of a DVD, where it's just the case in a bunch of plastic, and she couldn't even really break DVDs or VHS tapes. And then there's a bunch of games at Alamo Drafthouse downtown. So I'm really hoping, because I just want to give, I want James Cameron to do the next 2 films. I don't want him to flame out, so to speak, right now.
That said about Zootopia, they are both Disney, so it's a win either way.
I know, that's what they should do. Yeah, it's kind of like the Ella McKay cross promotion where Simpsons is bowing to Ella McKay to give them, what's that called? Synergy.
That is like the most batshit cross promotion I've ever seen. They have Lisa Simpson doing the Ella McKay challenge. They have like the voices all doing little talking heads about Ella McKay, and I'm like, those 2 things have absolutely nothing in common in form.
Yeah.
It's like when I worked at Warner Brothers, when we merged with Discovery, they forced every single entity to promote Shark Week. So completely unrelated brands had to find a way to promote Shark Week. So TCM did like the Hustler post because he's a pool shark.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
We were all like, fuck, like, how do we connect to Shark Week?
So what did the copy say? Look at this pool shark. Does he remind you of a shark?
Shark Week.
Wow. It was really something like that?
Yeah, like really grasping at straws. But they were
That's
like, had a gun to our head. Like, we're in charge now. Shark Week is our biggest thing. Every single brand has to post about it.
That is so crazy. They had Julie Kavner being like, "What are the similarities between Marge and Ella McKay?" And she goes, "I forget what she said.
She
It
was
was
like,
really,
"Arr."
yeah, it was something like that, but it was pretty insightful. But I listened to this thing on Blank Check that made so much sense to me. Not to steal their scoop, but they were saying that Ella McKay got financed in any way by Disney, like they gave him money even after his full-blown turkey. How do you know? Because he has the keys to the Simpsons castle, and once he got the team to greenlight a second Simpsons movie, they financed Ella McKay for him, and that seems like a realistic scenario.
Yeah.
To me, I didn't know that. I don't know if that's like shocking.
I heard that. Where did I hear that? Not on Blank Check. I haven't listened to that. But yeah, I heard that. Maybe it was on The Town.
Oh,
But I also heard that this is not as interesting, but
okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis to Jason Blum, since he wanted to keep making those Halloween movies, she was like, okay, but you have to give me a picture deal. And she produced that Fire school bus movie with Matthew McConaughey, and that was her passion project. And she was like, let me do this Fire school bus movie and I'll keep doing your fucking Halloweens.
Really? I forget that. I see that trailer on Apple TV or something. Matthew McConaughey standing on top of a bus on fire. And I was like, what the hell is that?
It's deeply upsetting. I was entertained. I thought it was pretty fun. Like, not fun. It's dark, especially watching it in less than a year out from the LA fires, because it's like almost exactly the same. It's about the Paradise fires, like in 2017 or 18. So I was like, why am I watching this? Like, it was torturous, but I thought it was kind of good.
Well, that's awesome that Jamie Lee Curtis like threw her, weight around to get that thing greenlit for Matthew McConaughey. I think that's wonderful. This is also, less interesting than the other stuff we were talking about, but I got exclusive access.
It's getting worse and worse.
it's like steep decline. I got this exclusive access to this Avatar clip on TikTok. They go, "Do you want to win a trip to New Zealand with James Cameron to go to the studios in which these films are made? We're going to give you an exclusive access to a clip for Avatar, and if you become the most viral clip, we'll take you to New Zealand." And then the third thing gets like a Tunkun like little whale doll, and then it's a whole competition. So I now have to create something that could possibly go viral using this exclusive clip that I've got in my hands. Yeah. I can't. I'm NDA'd completely, but I'm going to show you I can't show you the clip, but I'll tell you about it. But if you see me trying to do an Avatar Fire and Ash clip, you gotta make that thing go viral, because I gotta go to New Zealand. Yeah.
If not, we can always just go to Manhattan Beach. That's where they film a bulk of it.
Yeah, wait, let me see. Yeah, I was like, what? Hold on. I don't want to look at the details of this right now, but I think that, I don't want to waste our time, but I think it was like go with James Cameron in a helicopter to New Zealand and see a bunch of stuff.
He seems so intimidating.
Trip me. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Oh my God. I wouldn't know what the hell to say to him. Say trip to New Zealand to visit the Weta workshop. So I guess there must be some stuff. And then first prize gets James Cameron's Lightstorm Entertainment Studio tour. And then the second prize gets McFarlane Banshee figurine.
That's a steep drop off.
Major, but I just got to go viral. So everybody listening to this, when you see this clip come out, you got to make this thing go viral, because I got to get that grand prize. All right. Enough about Avatar. I'm glad we were able to talk about it, but I got to tell you this quick scoop, and then we'll talk about the other stuff. But did you know that Shep Rose is writing a brand new book? Did you hear about this?
No.
It's the minute he said that once he snorted that ayahuasca in Costa Rica, the minute he got back, he started writing about that experience. And so he's got a full-blown ayahuasca memoir on his hands, and it's due to come out, I think, next year. I just found this out. So like that literary party and Madison dressing like him, like I had no idea that he had another book. And this time it's called Nothing in Moderation, A Psychedelic Reckoning with Excess. And then wait until Schwartz gets a load of that.
I was going to say.
He could go on Detox Retox and promote the shit out of this, because Tom Schwartz has a similar vein that he's tapping in terms of moderation or the limits of that, or you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I did intend to listen to that TJ interview, and then I never did. So
I
I'll have to
know.
check back in on that.
Yeah, but well, congratulations to Shep on dropping one of these things. I'm excited to find out. My favorite thing in the world was learning when Shep what he saw in ayahuasca. Remember when he was like, I don't want to get too sad, but he was like, Austin, I saw you, like like I was in the woods and I saw you and you were crying, and it made him have that like deep empathy. Like I'm very excited because I do think that was a very pivotal time in
Yeah.
Shep's life, and it kind of changed his personality a little bit. So I
When
can't
he
wait for that.
saw Taylor Ann Green as a baby bird.
Yeah, and she was, remember? She was chirping.
He's
She
like, I
needed,
had to spit food into your mouth.
yeah, she was like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I need a worm. And he goes, I'm sorry, I saw you just like that bird. And he's like, oh my God. And that one was sad. He was like, I need to let you fly away through the window. I had to open the window after I gave you a worm. And then with Austin, he did tap into like knowing that Austin is secretly sad. Like, you know what I mean? Like that no one can really recover from that. And I felt like that was so beautiful too. So congrats, Shep. And then, do you want to talk about the Traitors shit that came out?
Sure. The Traitors trailer has been released. I didn't realize entirely who was on it, or I forgot, because I feel like we've been talking about it for so long that
Yeah.
I forgot Lisa Rinna was on it.
Uh-huh.
Candace from
Yeah.
Potomac. Dorinda's back, which will be fun. Ron Funches for some reason.
Yeah. Ron Funches, yeah. I keep forgetting this cast too. I don't know what that says, but I didn't know. I was watching the trailer. I didn't really know. I don't know anybody. They didn't really focus on the Bravo celebrities except Rinna for a second. So this was not the trailer for me. I didn't know 90%. I know that guy from Survivor a little bit. Rinna really got like just a little blip in it. It was like, what's his name? Alan Cummings was like, this is my kind of waterfall, and it was just spurting a bunch of blood and stuff. I kind of really, that really got out of my mind after we watched that season 3. So I wasn't too happy with this trailer, and I also think that they were de-emphasizing those beautiful, wonderful Bravo celebrities that they have for now.
Oh, yeah, Portia.
Yeah. It's like there was barely enough of them. It was like, here's Ron Funches, and which I love
like
them
half
all.
Housewives.
I know, but that maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that trailer didn't really emphasize and I hate to say this, but I don't really enjoy Lisa Rinna at all in any way.
You don't think she'd be great for Traitors though? Isn't that like her bag?
Not really. Even as a villain, I never really liked Lisa Rinna. I felt like she was a very incompetent villain. Just not fun to watch. Like the worst. Like Tamra is such a better villain. She viscerally makes me so pissed, and she's so much better at it. Lisa Rinna was like fake and frustrating to watch. So I don't really have high hopes and watch she'll like win the entire thing. But I never was fully on board with Traitors. I liked season 3, but this trailer didn't inspire a lot of fun for me. I just got to be honest. Is that okay? I feel bad.
Huge scoop.
All right. What did you think?
No, I mean, I enjoy the show. I hope everyone just takes out Michael Rappaport first so that we don't have to watch him for more than one episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that they don't all take out the Housewives like they have before, but they'll, pick on the Housewives.
Yeah,
but
I didn't like that either.
But we'll see.
I thought there was a cool part where Alan Cummings was going, he was like, watch what comes out. And he was doing that Jack in the Box with that creepy music. And he was spinning that big, what's that Jack in the Box handle or whatever. And like, it was just about to pop out with whatever creepy, scary thing was going to pop out. But then they cut. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I can't wait to see what kind of creature pops out of that Jack in the Box. And it is very much horror themed, right? It's like scary. There's like a lot of scary
murder.
stuff. Yeah, murder.
I hope they find a way to bring back Sandoval. Am I allowed to say that?
Of course you can. Yeah, he provided people with so much joy. He was still doing the doll challenge at BravoCon. People had those dolls that he had, those kind of creepy dolls with buttons for eyes, sort of like Coraline-esque, and they were making him chant it backwards at BravoCon. It was one of the many things that he was doing. So I think people would love to see him come back. And do you remember? Oh my God. I remember when Rob, what's Boston Rob, was in the birdcage, and he had a big curtain over him, and he was like, "Let me out," and he was like, "Let me out, and I'll do a really great stuff for you." And it was a huge part of the thing was rewarding someone to get out of that birdcage so they
Right.
could kind of wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Maybe Tom Sandoval might be one of the people in the birdcage.
Yeah, it's just the exact same season again, but like with new people.
Yeah,
I think they're using Boston Rob on that football thing.
yeah,
I don't watch football, so I don't watch it, but I think like Heather Gay was on it, and I think maybe West has been on it, and I think Boston Rob is on it. It's like Bravo people talking about football. They're trying to have some
yeah,
synergy because football is on Peacock now, maybe.
yeah. Major synergy time for.
And Travis Kelce's mom is on Traitors, so there's something there.
Oh my God. Whoa. I didn't even think about that. I saw Dylan Efron made a little bit of a faux pas. We love him culturally, but he's on that hot first seat football challenge with for Peacock. And he was talking about with Boston Rob, he was talking about the Summer House cast watching that trailer live in the hot seat. And Dylan goes, he was like, he goes, Summer House came to play. The gloves are off and I think they're rocking out. They wanted to make up for a shitty season last year. I was like, Dylan, I go, what the hell are you talking about? I love you, but Summer House season 9 was amazing. What are you,
Right.
you know what I'm talking about?
What are you on about?
It's kind of like, hey, I love you. Yeah, I saw you on Dancing with the Stars and I saw you on Traitors. I like you, but no one thinks Summer House last season was bad. I don't think. I mean,
Him
maybe some
and
people.
Ariana were also on The Voice this week.
Whoa,
NBC staying strong.
this is awesome. They're trying to compete with this Disney energy. Zootopia 2. And Fire and Ash. NBC's like, how do we get a little bit of this?
Ariana on The Voice.
Everyone's fighting for our eyes and our ears. You know,
They
our
can't have them.
attention economy is what they call it. And can I say this? The holiday spirit. I'm thankful for the attention that people bring to Turtle Time. You know, you have
It's
a lot
true.
of shit to watch.
Yeah.
You could watch Fire and Ash. You could watch Peacock Hot Seat Football. You could
Yeah.
watch.
Oh, I also wanted to declare once and for all that there's some Turtle Brigade type people in the news, and we are unaffiliated.
Yeah. There was this whole terrorist group called the Turtle Island Club or something, and it happened to coincide right when Amy and I were in 29 Palms for my birthday party, and I swear to God, we had nothing to do with it. It's a complete coincidence. I was like, what the hell are the odds that a Turtle Time? What was it? What are they called? The Turtle Time Liberation Front? I was like, what the hell? They were in our same. They were in the desert next to us. But
Related.
no, we wouldn't be sitting here if we were part of that liberation group.
Yeah, it was giving the French 75, but maybe not. I don't know.
I don't want to research too much into them because I was worried for a second. But
They seem flop. They have like 30 Instagram followers.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, definitively no, we had nothing to do with it, even though we were there around the exact same time that they were there in the desert.
Yeah. While me and Riley were doing keg stands, the worst weekend on earth was was in motion, and we luckily got to enjoy ourselves, but came back to like horrible news. So there's not that much great news. But we did realize that we never talked about Bronwyn and Todd broke up like an hour after our last record. So we got totally screwed on that one.
Yeah.
So
Well, at least now people have settled in, to a post Bronwyn Todd reality. We were good about this, you and I. We got a lot of privileged information, and I think that it was very clear at BravoCon, I think, that Bronwyn and Todd were most likely not long for this world, just from a few clues that we were learning. So this wasn't surprising to me, but I did think it was interesting that they didn't have a prenup. I don't know if you saw that news. People are very excited about that, I guess.
Yeah.
That just means that like they can just, who knows what can happen in the divorce, right?
that's good for her.
Yeah, totally. So I don't think anybody was so happy about Todd and Bronwyn. Like they had some wonderful, wonderful moments.
You're saying no one was happy that they broke up, or
No,
no one was happy for them to be together?
No one was happy. They didn't have a lot of vocal champions in their corner rooting them on. Todd was kind of gruff, not very fun, if you don't mind me saying. Didn't treat Bronwyn well. He was yelling, kind of just gruff and odd. There's cheating allegations.
Yeah.
Remember?
I saw a TikTok that said this year we're 3 Todds lighter.
Oh,
3 Todds down.
that is so funny. And we remember every Todd. Nebula. What's this third Todd? Remind me.
Candy Todd.
Oh, of course. Oh my God. Bad year for Todds. Holy shit. I didn't even think of that. Three Bravo Todds in divorces.
3 T's and a Todd.
3 T's and a Todd. That's kind of fun. I wonder if the stories they would tell. If
They
you
should
got
all
those-
have a podcast.
That would be so fun. Oh my God. I would love to hear Todd on a pod. Todd,
3 Todds on a pod.
oh, Todd Bradley is his name. But yeah, good for Bronwyn. Great for
Yeah.
Bronwyn. Oh my
It
God.
happened quicker than I thought, frankly.
Yeah, me too,
like,
actually. I thought they would
Mid-season.
I thought they'd stick it out. It makes that sort of her taking off her ring but not wanting to talk about it on Salt Lake City almost a little worse, because it's like you're laying this thing in motion and it's so bad, but you're not revealing yourself. But if I know Bronwyn, now that Todd is not even next to her, living in her house, she's going to go fucking nuts on Todd and tell us all the truth. So that'll be, well, possibly.
It's good for they haven't filmed the reunion yet, have they?
No, oh, God.
Shit, did they?
Oh, God.
Wait, maybe they did, actually.
What a question. I think they did. Well, yeah, they were all in New York. Brittany, yes, I can definitively answer this. Brittany did a cool Rockette-style Christmas show in New York, and the cast of Salt Lake City went there, and that coincided with them doing the reunion. So no, but maybe she'll reveal it at the reunion, and that'll be the big scoop for the reunion.
She has to. That would be insane if she held it for a week.
Oh, yeah, we'll be pissed at Bronwyn. But I think Bronwyn was worried about Todd, and now that this is gone and he's in her rear view, I think she'll be outspoken and honest about this, and I'm proud of her. I think she'll have an amazing next season on Salt Lake City. And Todd, go back to doing whatever the hell you were doing, not on Bravo, Hewlett Packard,
Starbucks mugs.
I mean, he'll be
farting
while making out. He'll be fine too. He didn't really, I can say it, he didn't really enjoy the Bravo experience. He didn't like it.
Definitely not. But yeah, happy for her. Hope she gets a real windfall of cash and we get to watch her buy some more fun outfits next year.
Totally. Oh my God. No more, probably she'll retire those big inflated things.
Oh yeah. I'm over those, so I'm fine with that. Do you think any part of her wanted her daughter to be out of the nest, even though he's not her dad, but maybe she just didn't want to shake things up one more time before her daughter was out of the house?
Yeah, I concur. I think absolutely that's a factor. So I can't wait to hear. So that's great. I mean, what is there to say else? Good? Great? Todd was sort of not fun and didn't, I mean, and now I think she's going to have the time of her life. They weren't that happy together.
No, she's going to rip it up.
Great. All right. Well, speaking of ripping it up, it's time for Turtle Time to rip it up and talk about a little bit of this Potomac that you and I have missed. A lot of people were writing emails to us saying, what's the status of Potomac? You guys have to talk about it. So we kind of went in and we watched both episodes, and we're going to do a little bit of high-level Potomac recap because we don't want to let Potomac fall by the wayside.
No, it's fun. It's still fun. I don't think we need to go beat by beat, but there were some, good bullets to cover. Angel sort of, we already thought maybe she was in her flop era on this show, and then she might be the new target.
Oh yeah, Stacy is breathing a big sigh of relief now that Angel sort of got a little bit of fodder for them to talk about. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. I think, in the episode that we missed that we didn't recap, I couldn't believe this was happening. Ashley takes Josh to an arcade. He goes, "Oh my God, I'm so happy you took me to my favorite place." It's I think it's called, was it called just arcade or barcade? Or barcade already exists.
Write it down, but it was pretty, they had some cool games. But then she was like, "What kind of a loser takes a lady to an arcade? Like, I'm used to men whining and dining me." And he was like, "But we're having fun."
Yeah. Because some people would do this, and at one point she goes, they do this sort of like race car game, and they're both like, you can beep the horns of your race car, and you can like, they were in a full blown simulation, and she goes, that simulation felt so real, and I was like, whoa, is this an ad that they're doing for arcade? And I thought that was a completely different scene. Like Ashley was paid, or Bravo was paid to promote this real life simulation racing game that they have, or maybe there was some synergy with F1 or something coming out to VOD, but instead she goes, Josh, how did you start it up? She goes, that simulation was so real. And I loved racing in cars with you, but we can't just always go on dates like this. I need to sort of think about the future. And I was like, oh my God, is she going to break up with Josh right now on camera and kind of blindside him?
Yeah. It was sad. She was like, part of it was valid where she was saying he's younger, so he might want to have kids one day. She's not sure if she would. And if she did, it would have to be like very soon. And so I'm like, that's a valid thing to start talking about. But then she was like, we haven't gone on vacation. He was like, we just went to, where was it, Philly or something, wherever he's from. And she goes, no, I mean international. And I was like, what?
Yeah, he goes, I was going to take you to Pittsburgh. And it played a sad trombone music. And I was like, hey, that's a trip. Like, yeah, I felt like Ashley wasn't being so subtle by saying that Josh takes her on race car dates and it's not as lavish. And she goes, I'm used to going to Turks and Caicos. And then they showed her and Michael Darby riding on a dolphin together. And I was like, okay, not everybody can provide that kind of,
it was lame.
trip.
She's kind of in her, I don't know. I feel like I'm turning on her.
Me too.
And maybe Josh, I always want to call him Satchel. Why does he remind me of Satchel?
I mean, I get it. I miss Satchel. So anytime you call Josh Satchel, I'm like, oh my God.
Satchel / Josh should go break up Janet Caperna's marriage and start going to Dave and Buster's.
Whoa, I didn't like what you said first, because Janet and Jason have a wonderful marriage. But then when you say about arcades and stuff, yes, I get it, because Janet would be loving arcade type of stuff with Josh, because in Josh's or in Ashley's defense, Josh was really, really excited to be at the arcade. Like he was getting all those tickets, and he was kind of running around.
I'm like, lest you forget what kind of shit Michael Darby was up to besides taking you to international locations. Yeah,
it was sad. And I also didn't really have a lot of sympathy for Ashley, because I felt like she was using Josh, for her storyline in a way that was disrespectful, in a way I'm glad. Okay. So I give Ashley credit for doing something real on camera. If she didn't tell Josh that she was going to break up with him and actually did it, that's kind of a shocking development for us to witness. But I did really just feel bad for Josh in the moment based off what her rationale was. He was really taken aback. Do you think that she didn't give him any forewarning that this was going to happen?
He seemed a little taken aback. Like, it felt like he thought he could fix it and was like, no, like, let's talk this through. And it was kind of, she had to keep being like, no, like, I'm trying to tell you for real.
Yeah.
This is not going to work.
He did keep saying, like, we can go to bigger and bigger arcades. There's a bunch of different ones around. And she goes, no, you're not getting it. And she had to lay out like 6 different excuses,
It's not clocking to you, Josh.
No. So that was interesting. And then what else did you like? I guess there was this Shio event at the end.
Mm-hmm.
This is the episode last week that we're covering. Stacey had this event, and they kind of juxtapose it with Wendy and Eddie also having their event. Happy Eddie is now making a Nutty Professor strain, which I was kind of excited they were able to get the copyright for that. Is that in public domain? Because it was made in like
how old is that?
It must be around the time of Dr. Dolittle and Mr. Magoo, and like when people were just doing a bunch of stuff like that. Dr. Dolittle, Nutty Professor. I think that must be one of those sort of like evergreen characters that anyone can tap into at some point. Don't you think?
We should think about how we can utilize that IP. But yeah, so Tia, I don't even remember what happened. It was like Tia was what were her and Stacey getting into it about? All I can remember is that Stacey says toodle-doo.
Yeah, she says, she kind of confronts her about her being, having a British accent and says toodaloo as she leaves. What I felt like was that Tia wanted another bite of the apple, so to speak. She
Yeah.
kind of, in a way, had a ruse of apologizing to Stacey, but it was such a tenuous apology, and Stacey really was aggrieved by Tia sort of turning on her. So they were sort of fighting about the fact that Tia used this lie that Timo said about having to go to work, which I was totally fine with Timo saying, I don't want to go to your dinner party. Can I just lie? Could he have said anything in the world? I'm so sorry. I'm tired and sick. Like,
It's so weird. Like on the newest episode, when Timo shows up to the event, everyone goes, he does exist. Wow, Timo in the flesh. And I'm like, have we met everyone else's husbands to any larger degree? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what are you talking about?
They don't know what to do about Timo. He shocks
They're
them.
threatened.
When he walked in, everyone was like, I like Timo. He was like, he didn't even say a word. They're like, I kind of respect Stacey for bringing Timo. I was like, Timo's kind of cool. I was like, okay, Timo era is over. Like, everyone likes him. He showed up. But Tia, I felt like wanted a little more, and so they kind of fought about that. She said that she wanted that Stacey had called her on the phone and said, you need to back me up. If I'm giving you exclusive access to Timo, then I need you on my side. Stacey said that was a lie, and she said, you will not sit here and lie to me or about me at my Shio party. Get the hell out. Toodaloo. And it got bad again very quickly. And that's how that episode ends. There's so much, again, Stacey hate. Like, Giselle is telling everyone how much Stacey is a liar and everything. They're making fun of Shio. So I was kind of relieved, like I said, that the next episode, so this current week's Potomac, was about Angel now having a very odd, unprecedented thing, almost unprecedented, I think, happen, which is kind of a real peek behind the curtain to
a full fourth wall break. So it comes to pass that she's like, all of a sudden it's that she has to move. It's like they go to this polo thing. It ends by her saying, like, I can't wait to get to know this group better, kind of. And then it goes 18 hours later, she's packing. And apparently there was, I put this in quotes, some miscommunication about her move out date. And it was a short-term rental. She said that they were just using that house as a rental while they looked for a permanent place. Yeah. We've heard there have always been other cities, like Salt Lake, I'd say most prominently, that people are blamed or accused of living in the city only for the show or renting or whatever. But this, Giselle straight up like brings up the filming schedule and like how many days. And I was like, oh, like they're like fully throwing her under the bus.
Oh, yeah. So I think what happened was she was cast on this show. She didn't live here yet. She must have said that her and her husband are open to moving, but they couldn't do it in time to be on this show. So they rented an Airbnb for 2 months, and filming for some reason was extended to 3 months or however long. And she couldn't live there anymore because they said it's rented out now. This is a home that's in demand. So they couldn't explain why the hell Angel would have moved out halfway through a season. So she has to do it on camera, and she doesn't know how to explain herself because it's a fourth wall break and no first-time cast members want to unveil what the dynamics are behind the scenes, so she can't accurately talk about it. So Giselle sort of has to fourth wall break for her. But it is interesting that this happened. It really gives us a view of what's going on behind the scenes. My real question was, what the hell is going on with the filming of Potomac where you had to extend this season? Like,
this happened on episode 11. Like, they still have probably at least 5 or 6 more episodes to go.
I mean, what is in the trash can on this season that we're seeing Giselle go buy an electric vehicle for 5 minutes of last week's episode? I was like, this was a rough season. And they're like, we need to extend it. We have to fill this out with something. So Angel, you need to stay here, but she just couldn't live in her house anymore. And they didn't know, they didn't want her to just move into a different place. So that's kind of the major crux of this episode. And then now everyone is says, enough about Stacy. Let's talk about what the hell went into this decision with Angel and if she was evicted or not. Does Bobby hate to live here? And also, I don't even believe that Angel was renting an Airbnb to look for a house. I bet if she got her second season contract renewed, then they would start the process of moving. But I don't even think that they were going to move in this iteration because she didn't know whether or not she'd be on the show or not.
Right. Yeah. She basically, when they're all questioning her at the party at the end, it was very Phaedra justifying her her due date. Like they were like, so was it the 1st or was it the 12th? What did the contract say? What, are they screwing you over or was it a miscommunication? And she was just like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't. Okay, so it's like she's caught off guard and she doesn't know how to explain this without revealing, the filming and stuff, which I understand. Like, Giselle is powerful enough to break the fourth wall in that conversation with Tia, where you can say she can say she moved here for the show. She knows it's going to get cut or there's going to be no repercussions for her saying like that. But Angel has to handle this delicately because she's never been in a situation like this. So she has this scripted PR answer that she uses in the confessional and in real time. She goes, "We're an NFL family and we're used to moving." It's like that doesn't satisfy anyone's questions in any way. It's still shocking,
irrelevant,
and you're going to have to talk about it, especially with this group. And now you're allowing, because you don't have an answer that you're giving on camera, you're allowing everybody to sort of make up the rationale for why this happened. So full turning from Stacy to Angel in this moment at this Cowboy Kids party that takes place at this episode. On this episode.
Wendy also reveals that she had a conversation with a realtor that was like, I heard that Angel wanted a house that appeared to look like a $50,000 a month rental, but she was only willing to pay $2,000 to $3,000. I was like, I don't even know how that's possible. Jimmy, as someone in real estate, he was like, that's a HIPAA violation. Like they should never reveal a conversation like that. But I was like, what? I mean, what would a $50,000 a month rental in that area look like? Like that's like how much it costs to rent like a Malibu mega mansion.
Right.
Like what are you even talking about?
I think Wendy is playing this up with the realtor conversation, and she tries to say that she was evicted because she knows that that's going to be scandalous. And I think we know that Angel was not evicted. It makes more sense, Occam's razor, that text that we saw on screen of the person being like, "Thank you so much for staying with me, but as we agreed, you're out on the 1st." Like it was an Airbnb. It's very clear. And I believe that it's quite possible that she might have said to someone, "I want this house to look very expensive. I have to look like I deserve to be on this show in terms of wealth. So even though I'm paying $3,000 a month, I want it to look like a lavish house," which whether or not that comes across is up to the viewer. I don't really know or care how rich someone is on this show. But I don't believe it's out of the realm of possibility that she wanted something to appear like they were capable of spending a lot of money on a short-term lease. It's just very funny to call a short-term lease, an Airbnb a short-term lease, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, they keep dogging. Her and her husband are late to the Potomac and Ponies party. And they're like, "How late are you? Where are you? Why are you so late?" And the husband goes, "We'll get there when we get there." And they're all like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, they're pissed. I mean, Angel is this is a pretty bad run. I mean, I liked Angel, but she got too pissed off about the catfish, and she talked about it too long. She is a little guarded. She was a little when other stuff was bubbling up. She took it to heart and a little too much. I just feel like I really see a spark there, but this is a bad hand of cards to be dealt, and she's playing it wrong. There's a very funny moment, very very ridiculous moment where Wendy has to say every meal that everybody made, and it's for no reason at all other than to say that Ashley Darby brought catfish. She goes, "Stacey brought potato salad, I brought Popeyes, and by the way, Ashley Darby, thank you so much for bringing catfish." And that name
say it again, catfish.
And that name of the food again is catfish, everybody. And then you can see Angel just so bummed out that catfish is being brought up again. It's like her worst nightmare showing up to this event. It's
Did they do a potluck just for that?
It's possible. It's really possible. You said it best at the start of this conversation. They found a new target, and then now production is trying to make something out of this. They extended filming, and they're going to honor Angel in a way by having the cast go to Colorado while Angel picks up her stuff and goes out there. They're going to make a final cast trip out of it
They kind of threw her a bone there, or they were like, this is what you must do.
Yeah, I think so, because she's going to have to be accountable for everything in this era now that they're going to be talking about her nonstop. But yeah, you're right. A funny, interesting episode. We've never seen something like this. Maybe worth watching if you haven't caught up, on Potomac this season. But yeah, you're right. It was good, and I'm glad we're back on track, and hopefully we can keep, talking about Potomac.
Yeah. I also liked when Stacey got lunch with Kay and she said, Michelle Obama says when they go low, we go high. So I took a gummy and I went in high.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great play on that.
Great wordsmith.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Yeah, we did have some resolution. We got Giselle and Monique having a little bit of resolution, and we got
I forgot about that already.
Yeah, and we got Kay and Stacey also. So there could be maybe a new chance at new dynamics this season, which is something that was sort of lacking earlier. Amy, you and I have a lot of work to do on this episode. We want to recap Vanderpump Rules. Would you ever permit me to go take a certified turtle piss break, and then we can come back with a full clear head and clear body to talk about Vanderpump Rules?
Of course.
Amy, thank you for allowing that.
We're back.
We're back. Let's talk about this episode of Vanderpump Rules called Crash Out Queens.
How did you feel about this week's?
I liked it. I liked it enough. I'm still, pleasantly surprised. There was a part of me that got a little tired of being at SUR for about 40 minutes of this episode, and I felt like we were almost getting into that. Remember that show 24, where it was like every minute of the day it was like what he did every minute. I was kind of like, we're a little bit spending a lot of time at SUR, which I know is Lisa's dream. But I thought it was getting a little tedious. Them spending the entire shift there, and also then the Venus versus Marcus and Kim stuff, which they kind of really spend a lot of time. It was like maybe 80% of this episode. So I don't know. I was kind of more reserved on this one. How did you feel?
Yeah, I kept, I feel like this show might be a good, at least so far. I don't know that it's going to be, you're hanging on every word, but it's like enjoyable because the characters are kind of fun. I'm not going to fully put it into a folding laundry category yet, but I feel like if I were folding laundry, this episode would have been sufficient. But I did find myself going, oh, is this Venus, Marcus, Kim stuff just a little much? Like, are they playing it up because there's not much else going on? Whereas I think that the stuff surrounding people's flirtations and dating, I think might have some room to grow and will be interesting. So I'm like, yeah, just let the young people like date and like have sex and then like go from there.
I think so too. Angelica and Jason is another example where it's like, what's going to happen there? So I did like that even more. And then my favorite scene by far, which we'll get to when we talk about it, is I really liked the Natalie and Shane Davis conversation at the end of this episode, where they were at a full blown like they almost like it tanked their relationship all of a sudden, the way they were talking about it. And I was like, I felt like that was like very real, like really showed the difference in communication and what they expected of each other. And I really loved Natalie in that moment. It was not expected at all for me, for how she kind of shot him down in the moment.
Yeah. I can't really quite get a read on Shane Davis still. Like, he seems so simple and to the point that I'm like, he doesn't seem like a am I giving him too much benefit of the doubt to say that he's not a douchebag? But I'm like, there's something sort of charming about his simple mindset.
I don't know. Yeah, I was a little worried about Shane Davis here. I was a little kind of like, what's going on? Okay. I guess my impression of him is somewhat clouded by what I saw at the Vanderpump Rules event that we went to,
Yeah.
where Shane Davis wouldn't sort of separate from Natalie for 1 second, and I got this small feeling of like he was sort of a little too infatuated with Natalie, and I felt like it was almost like he was spending too much time almost chasing her around the room. And I feel like maybe when he's in a relationship, maybe he's a little uh suffocating possibly, and I felt like it was a little too early for him to be sort of putting Natalie on the stand and making her proclaim what their intentions are. And I agreed with Natalie completely when she was kind of like, dude, let's not talk about this yet. Like, we went to the climbing gym and we're just starting out, and you're making this not fun by like clinically analyzing it,
Yeah.
So I don't know what that revealed of Shane. I thought I so much was on the Natalie side of that conversation that I was kind of like, Shane, what the hell are you doing? You're blowing it, my man.
Right.
You're blowing it right now.
Yeah. While we're on those two, should we just talk about their climbing gym date and what he revealed there?
Oh my God. Yes, let's do it. So first they go to the climbing gym, which I used to go to LA Boulders. So it was kind of like, whoa, this took me back. I was like, holy shit. I love this kind of stuff. Those little shoes that they wear, putting chalk on your hands. So I like that. And they're doing a lot of day dates.
Yeah.
On this show, which I was wondering about, but then I was like, oh my God, wait, it makes total sense. Horse riding in the day. Jason invites Angelica on a day date. It's like, oh no, they have work, actual work at night at SUR. So they have to go on day dates. I was like,
we got a daytime pool session like old times. I was like, whoa, I feel like we're at the freaking Mondrian or whatever, wherever they used to go.
Yeah, I was like, why not go on a date and get drunk at a bar or a restaurant like people do? But it's like, no, they have to work. They can't do that. So Shane Davis and Natalie, they don't have much, they don't have overwhelming chemistry. It's like the first date. And then Shane Davis tells the story. She tells her story of having scoliosis. Bad scoliosis. Do you remember that day at school when everybody got tested?
I know. I was thinking about that recently where I was like, was that a real fear? I guess, is it more common than I realize in I feel like it's more young women than young boys, but she has 24 screws in her back.
I know. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I remember that day. It's when this happened, I was like, I remember that day at school. We all had our shirts off in the cafeteria, and we were just all standing in line waiting for them to analyze our backs. I think it was just something to like catch early with every kid in school at a certain time.
It's kind of interesting. Does anyone know more about this scoliosis like detection program? Because it's not like it's something that could be spread. So is it something that the community decided that parents could never detect and that the schools had to intervene because they don't do that with anything else?
No, I know. And also, like, why wouldn't, I mean, I was getting checkups as a kid pretty regularly. Like, why wouldn't scoliosis just be at some time around a yearly or so I don't know why schools did this scoliosis initiative, but Natalie found out. I mean, her back was, she had scoliosis. I could tell when they showed that.
It was curving.
X-ray. Yeah, it was pretty curvy. And then Shane Davis goes, I got my back is also a little bit messed up. I was shot 3 times by my best friend. And I go, what the hell did you just say, Shane Davis? And he said that his friends.
I thought it was that his best friend. It was kind of confusing. He goes, did you know the guy? And then he goes, yes, my best friend called me because he was getting jumped or like he was in a fight and his best friend got stabbed. And then he tried to go help his best friend who was getting stabbed and he got shot.
Oh, I thought, oh my God, I don't know. I thought he said my best friend shot me 3 times because his friend, he got his modeling contract. They were celebrating. They got in a huge fight with a rival group. I'm like, I have a lot more questions because
it was all very West Side Story.
Yeah, I've never been in a situation like this. I thought he went to go rescue his friend by jumping on the guy who just had stabbed his best friend, and his best friend had a gun. No offense if I'm lying. And
like on accident.
Best friend. Yeah, and he started firing because he had just been shot, and unfortunately, friendly fire, and Shane got the 3 bullets that his friend shot him with. I think that's, I mean, this is kind of a big detail to not, I think that's.
Yeah, I could have watched it again, but.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that is what happened, but you're right. There was some language there, and maybe it was a little bit confusing, but I thought his best friend did it like on accident while he was defending him against this stuff. But, I didn't really understand. I wanted to know a little bit more about, his friend had a gun on him.
Yeah, like where did he live? Like what was going on?
Yeah. So and then he goes, but then I walked into my modeling contract after learning how to walk again, and I go, will you still take me? And they go, not only will we take you, but we're gonna take you to Milan. And then that kind of set his career off, and he became a model after that. So
yeah, he said he called it Mulan.
I thought that was interesting. He goes, I didn't even know what Mulan was. I was calling it Mulan for years, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And he got little Band-Aid tattoos on all of his entrance and exit wounds, so he has a lot of those.
Yeah. So, all right, let us know, Turtle Time listeners, what the hell did Shane Davis say? Was it his best friend, or was he defending his best friend and gunfire happened? But either way, I'm interested to know more about this occurrence, because it's kind of a shocking thing.
Yeah, wild.
What did you think? What did you think at the start of this episode when Lisa wanted to go back to the glory days of having a SUR photo shoot at SUR? What did you think about that?
Why not?
Yeah, I said that too. I said, why? I said, this
why
makes
the hell
sense.
Not?
I said, this makes sense that they've done it before. And it's kind of like I'm introducing a new group, not nearly as fun as some of the other ones. Kind of when you directly compare, this is what I'll say for Lisa for the second season. Don't directly compare them to the past, because then it kind of lights up in my mind all the fun that we used to have at SUR photo shoots when we really, really, really kind of loved and bonded with a cast. There was so much of it's just kind of a shocking difference of the cast. I won't say better or worse.
Right.
To see them do the exact same things and then show photos and videos of Tom Sandoval and Stassi and Peter doing all of this, it calls to mind the legacy of the show, which I don't know if you want to do on this new iteration.
It's true. Yeah, it calls to mind the time that Brittany gets a glass of milk at the SUR photo shoot, and Jax is like, milk is gross, and she goes, milk is good for you.
Oh, wow, yeah, believe me, when I was thinking of my memories, I was like, Brittany ordering milk at the SUR photo shoot, that was amazing. I was so proud that they had milk on hand for her. Remember, it was a huge glass.
Yeah, she needed it for reasons I don't recall, but I support milk drinking, so that's
right.
Okay.
And Jax goes, I don't drink milk. He was so pissed. And then, this is when the biggest thing that we already alluded to bubbles up. Marcus goes, no. Marcus and Kim pretend like nothing happened. They're back in a relationship. They're holding hands.
Kissy.
Kissy. And Venus goes, what the hell is going on between Marcus and Kim?
Yeah.
They were fighting last night, and now they're back together. And he really makes it upon him. He figures out how to make it, revolve around him, because he's supportive of them so much. And he needs to know more if they're going to get back together, because he can't do this all the time.
He's like, I spent all of last night at Audrey's party comforting Kim, and then it's like it never happened. And Marcus is like, that's not my problem. I didn't do anything. And then Natalie steps in, and she's pissed off about this scenario. Then Kim joins, and she's like, actually, I'm still pissed about your weird text messages to Marcus. And so basically everyone's feuding. Demi's telling Natalie to shut up. Lisa's like, everybody stop it. We have the photo shoot. It's iconic. We must get back to work.
Yeah, she was like, think about the legacy of the other SUR photo shoots. So she nips this thing in the bud. She's like, how the hell did Demi get in this? And then Natalie gets a piece of it. They're all kind of fighting. Audrey is being kind of fun. She's like, why the hell are we all fighting? So that's going to be the issue that we'll focus on for a very, very long time for this episode, about how Venus feels.
Yeah, it was like, SUR again, SUR daytime, SUR nighttime. Did you notice Peter was there at one point?
Yes, of course. The guy goes, how the hell do I muddle what's one of their signature cocktails? It's not a pumptini. He goes, how the hell do I muddle this big pinky? And Peter goes, let me show you. And it's like, wow, 1 second of Peter, just like that. They just kind of threw him in it. Like
you didn't see him at the event, did you? I didn't.
No, I didn't see him for 1
Yeah,
second. It was,
we got that question like 5 times.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's say officially no. And then this is when now we're in a new realm because Marcus goes, you saying stuff to me about my relationship pissed me off. And I don't want to fake like I'm even your friend anymore because of how you treated me by pulling me aside. Because Marcus didn't give a shit about how Venus feels. He's like, it's none of your business. And then Venus took 1 second, to text back, and he kind of went a little further than Marcus did. He said, you have a clown-ass relationship. You look stupid as fuck. I don't want to be involved anymore. And I was like, okay, Marcus is more ambivalent, kind of mad, venting his feelings. Venus's was sort of pretty pissed off and a little meaner, I thought,
Fiery.
than Marcus's. Yeah, a little fiery.
Yeah, and then it devolves into Venus hears that Marcus and Kim told other Sir staff things that he had said behind their back. So now he's feuding with this girl named Gabby, and more to come on that. But that's how they retaliated potentially.
Yeah. What about? Oh my God. What the hell did he say about Gabby, who we don't know at all? She goes, She texted him and goes, "You're low class, Venus," for the things that he said. And so there's going to be a huge feud between Venus and Gabby at a certain point coming up.
Yes. We also get to meet Angelica. It's her first day. She, as we saw in the trailer, trips on her way into the photo shoot, but Lisa seems to really like her. We find out that she has a psychobiology degree from UCLA, which is essentially neuroscience, which is always wild when someone on reality TV has a real degree.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Yeah. No, you're right. That's huge. Yeah. I couldn't do that ever in my life. That's amazing. And when she walks in, she was hired the day before. Like she kind of was hired as they were filming, to join this team. And she gets that center beautiful seat at the Sir photo shoot. Lisa leads her right in to sit in the middle of everyone after working there not one day, I don't think.
She's got beauty and brains.
Totally. And then she, unfortunately, because there's sort of a hazardous working environment there due to a light stand being in the way of a walking path, she falls and almost hurts herself. And Lisa goes, "How the hell are you?" And she goes, "I won't be filing for workers' comp from this." And I think Lisa was excited.
She's like, "Don't even fucking joke. Like, don't say those words. Don't tell other people that exists." Okay, so then we get a quick Malibu horse day with Mary, Faith, and Audrey. Chris joins. They have a little heart-to-heart about dating in LA. And he reveals he was on 2 different reality dating shows, Dated and Related and Perfect Match. And I'm glad that he brought it up, that a lot of people think that Dated and Related sounds like it's an incest show, which I needed him to say how it wasn't.
Yeah. How isn't it? What does that mean? What does that mean other than what it means? I was thinking about this. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, Dated and Related. Netflix, you made a reality television show called Dated and Related. And no one, through all of the 6 months that you worked on this to the final pass, that's the title you came up with. If you flip those words around, related and dated, it only means that.
Did you look up what it was? I have it here.
It's yeah, sorry, you could say
16 single contestants, all sibling pairs, enter a villa in the south of France before going on a series of dates in front of their brothers and sisters. I mean, that's still weird.
Yeah, it is. And then Chris and Jason were on Dated and Related. They played the siblings, even though we know they're cousins, but then they're on the cover image of it. So in a way, you could almost imagine, was it like, in a way, because it really doesn't make any sense other than what you would think for that they're sort of playing into the idea that maybe it's going to be a dating show in which Chris and Jason start to date.
Right.
But he goes, that had a horrible title. And then he said he was also on Perfect Match, which I've also never heard about. But it's almost, I think it's 2 Netflix reality shows that he really had some time on before he got into the Bravo world.
Yeah, I don't fuck with those, so...
I almost thought that I like them a lot, those 2 guys, but I was almost like, that's almost disqualifying. Like I was
too well trod
into reality television, but I like them enough, so I'm not gonna say that. But then there's still chemistry between Audrey and Chris, because then they get up on that horse called Oreo and they sort of ride around a lot.
Yes.
And he was dressed kind of like a cowboy, right? With a
It's
hat
true.
and boots.
Yeah, he was prepared for the look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then next we get our pool day, the rooftop pool, like old times. And this is where we get the Shane and Natalie of it all. He sees her potentially flirting with Jason. She posed at the photo shoot with Jason and Chris, sort of like sandwiched between them. And apparently he didn't like that. And he was like, you told me that I couldn't flirt with anyone at SUR, but now you're flirting with everyone at SUR. And she's like, everyone always thinks I'm flirting just because I'm nice, which I kind of like that she's like, haha, I do whatever I want. Fuck you.
Me too. Yeah, and I guess the word I was searching for earlier was he got a little possessive too early for my taste.
Yeah.
And I really liked every instance of Natalie combating the version of reality that was starting to bubble up in his head about how, like, if they should be exclusive or something after that climbing gym date. It was just really refreshing for her to be like, I don't want to talk about any of this shit. She was like, it's turning me off. You're turning me off by analyzing this and talking about this. And he was not deterred in any way. If I was in this position, I'd be like, oh my God, I'll stop talking. I'll shut up. I like you. You're actively telling me I'm boring you and this sucks and you hate it. And he kept doubling down because it was like a disrespect thing for him. He felt like if she flirted with Jason, that it was disrespecting him because he took her to the climbing gym. Like he needed it so defined really early. And Natalie, just the way she was able to sort of curve him in all those instances was like pretty powerful to me. I was excited by it.
She was like, this sucks. And he was like, it's called clarity and communication. And she was like, boring. And he was like, maybe we just communicate differently. And she's like, I guess so. And he's like, I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah, she's
like, whatever.
Yeah, she handed him his ass. And she said might be the first time in Shane's life where a girl isn't throwing herself at him. And so he's like stunned. By it. But she said, I'm not that easy. So it's kind of like, go collect yourself and come back and try again if you want to be in a relationship. But what I'm surprised by is it looks like he won based off what we saw at the Vanderpump Rules event.
It's true.
They were twirling around like Beauty and the Beast dance in the final time when the Beast is trying to impress Belle you remember when he's after he saves her dad and she's starting to like him and they have that ballroom dance. I was like, what the hell are Shane and Natalie doing?
You're really up on your Disney. I'm blown away by your specific examples every time.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of that's not one that everybody kind of is brought to mind. Then Angelica and Jason are flirting too. Jason goes, I hope to grow on you at some point, Angelica, and she goes, haha, that's so sweet. And he goes, let's get down to the basics. You're hot. I'm hot. What the hell are we doing here? Let's go out. And she goes, take me on a daytime date at some point.
Let's face it.
She goes, let's face it. And then it's kind of like, maybe, possibly they'll go on a date. Who knows?
I hope so. And then the end is all Venus centric. Did you notice that he has a bangers tat?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Did Megan like that?
Megan loved
Your wife
it.
is a real Miley head.
Oh, totally. She has bangers on vinyl. I got it for her on Record Store Day. That's one of her favorite albums of all time. So Venus just shot through the roof and Megan's idea. Venus goes, hey, he talks to Kim. And he goes, hey, I know we got to talk about this simmering feud that we might be all over exaggerating. And Kim's like, you hurt me so bad. I was crying. I couldn't believe that text you sent. So we went in on you. Marcus was like, if someone says fuck me, it's definitely fuck you. And I was like, God damn, I really like Marcus. Like he has there's a villainy streak in him, but he's also engaging and funny. And I really like that he doesn't give a shit about how anybody views him and he's not like playing it up or anything. Like that is a good combination for this show. But Kim goes, I don't want anything to do with this, Venus. I don't like it. I'm going to go eat some food over here. And Venus is like, who else can have my wrath? How about Gabby? And he goes, Mackenzie, you look amazing. Gabby, you look like a stupid bitch. And Gabby was like, she hadn't done anything. She had texted him that, but she wasn't in this at all.
Yeah.
And then she gets fired up. Fuck you, you're low trash. And then again, it sends everyone spiraling to start to fight. Natalie and Kim get in a little fight.
Yeah.
Marcus goes, don't come over to me with that type of voice.
you better be careful. And
Yeah.
then he's piping off about the Gabby text, and he's like, she sent me some stupid ass bitch calling me a low class bitch. And you're like, what is happening? So many bitches flying. Is it Natalie that's like, watch your language?
Yeah. She goes, my ears. She goes, I don't like to hear cursing like that. So,
Yeah.
it kind of brought forth everyone's animosity towards each other, but they were sort of playing it cool, like trying to have fun, playing, what's that game in pool when you put your people on your
Chicken.
shoulders? Chicken. Yeah, they're like, we're playing chicken. And then, Audrey doesn't get in any of these fights. She's kind of just looking at
She looks
them.
to the camera. She does some mugging to the camera.
I was thinking of that. I was like, we've got a new Jim from
The Office.
we got a real Jim Halpert from The Office over here, because she kind of looks at the camera and just drinks a beer while there's fighting. So that episode was, good enough, but it also, if you view it from a certain lens, you could be like, I can't watch that kind of drawn out conflict about a group of people that we don't really know yet. But then again, what really I think was really fun about this episode, if we lean more into that, maybe we'll have a great season on our hands. So decent episode.
Yeah. Next week, we get a girls' night party bus, which could be fun. We get Natalie versus Angelica. I think Angelica gets shoved at one point. And then more Venus versus Marcus.
Oh, my God. What the hell is going to happen between those two? Well, great. Well, okay. All right. Well, hey, that was Vanderpump Rules.
We did that. We checked Potomac. We checked Vanderpump. And we will return shortly for Salt Lake City.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Yamas.
Cheers. Is that what that means?
I think so. I think that's what that guy said at that, when they went to that dinner. They kept saying Yama, so I think that means cheers.
That guy was cool. I would track him down if I was down there.
He was really cool. And his friend, George, who was doing that cooking, they were both really, really, really cool. So we're going to talk about this episode of Salt Lake City. It was called, what did you think of this title?
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. My Big Fat Greek Mother's Day, right?
Yep.
Pretty interesting, because I'm familiar with those films. I watched 1 and 2. But this takes place on Mother's Day. So I guess it kind of was a pretty clear-cut way to sort of title an episode. But everybody's waking up in the morning after whatever the hell happened, last night. And they're not cheersing, but they're saying Happy Mother's Day to everybody, right in the morning.
Yeah. Most people on this trip are stoked to not have any motherly duties and to be on this cool trip. But it's a reoccurring theme that Meredith apparently takes Mother's Day very seriously, and it's sacred to their family.
Yeah, it really is. She's got to get at least a little phone call to Brooks in there. I think that I do also think this was a particularly bad Mother's Day for Meredith, just in terms of how she's being treated. I think she was using it a little bit to be like, woe is me. I'm a little sad. But I also feel like they were treating Meredith like absolute shit this entire episode. They were really, really tormenting her the entire time. Just absolutely being so horrible to her. For the first 35 minutes, I was like, what the hell are you guys doing to Meredith here? Just like, I don't know what Whitney's grievance is against Meredith. I kind of remember Heather's. But then, at the end of it, I was like, okay, you're treating Meredith like shit. But then the worst thing in the world happens, that then when Brittany's in the hot seat over trademark shit, Meredith kind of piles on there. And it's like, she's kind of like loving life, rubbing her hands together, being like, ooh, I'm out of the hot seat. Now I'm going to start hurt people. I'm going to start like taking advantage of the situation, laugh and cackle and bully Brittany. And it was exactly what we were talking about on Potomac. I mean, I don't think Stacey reveled in this, but it was like once Angel, was the scapegoat, everyone's like, let's all go here. Let's all start doing this. And I feel like it's a really hard task to, like, once the spotlight, is not on you any longer, to not also contribute to someone else's misery for a little while because you were just treated that way. So I don't know. I felt bad, but there was some fun stuff in this episode overall. They've got to 10 Commandments, or sorry, not 10 Commandments. What am I talking about? Friendship Commandments up on the board that has all those things that they signed about how to be a better friend, or the things, those things that they won't commit against each other ever again.
Right, from their founding fathers, spill the tea, whatever. I was a little concerned that she was using shipping tape on those cabinets. I was like, if those are, what's that called? Veneer, and you pull that off and it rips, you're fucked.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my God. I didn't even see what kind of strong tape they were using. Oh my God. What the hell was Bronwyn doing? She just put a bunch of tape over there. I was so surprised. It said that reactive abuse one that Meredith said, everyone had these sort of blood red tick marks next to that. Every single person committed some sort of reactive abuse. I thought that was really interesting. Did you see that?
Yeah, I was distracted because I was also concerned about the strength of the marker versus the thickness of the paper. I was really just like crying over here about the cabinets and what would happen if they were destroyed.
Oh, you're saying, oh, okay, sorry. I get what you're saying. If that paper was thin and she's using that bloody red marker on it and shipping tape,
what could happen.
Yeah, that thing's going to look like shit afterwards. I would really be interested to know if Bronwyn took care of that cabinet. That was... Oh my God, that's horrible. Okay, and then they're all outside having fun. Angie goes, let's have fun. Angie has to go to the bathroom, and she uses this little ledge to walk over to the bathroom. Did you think that was kind of silly?
Yeah, she was doing bits. She was doing some comedy. She was like, look, I have 1 foot on the ledge, 1 foot on the banana peel. Full callback. I feel like Angie might remember her lines the best out of everyone, which is why what happens later really pisses her off specifically.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Yes. And then they're all having fun, doing that kind of physical comedy. And then Brittany goes, guess what? We're all having the time of our life right now. Guess who sucks and who's missing? Meredith. And then they all kind of don't want to be a participant in that yet. They kind of leave her hanging there. They're like, oh, that was awkward. And they let it just, they let it die on the vine. But then they do recount that Meredith couldn't get coffee in the morning and she was acting still sort of pissed off. And Heather tells the group that she's kind of, angry still. But then they're going to split these trips, or they're going to do day trips, donkeys and Greek cooking session.
Which one would you want?
Great. Thank you for asking. I think because I get to go to the Greek cooking session later after I get to eat the food and have the wine, that I would do donkey for a bit, just on the steps.
I also don't think it's fun to go to a thing where you have to be put to work. Although it looked pretty chill. Like they got to remain seated and they were just like, here, like stack the layers. It wasn't like they were wearing aprons and fully in the thing, but honestly, like, I'm not one that's going to be taking a class when abroad. I want to relax.
Yeah. I sort of blinked and I missed it. I didn't even see him making that moussaka.
Yeah, they were just like, put this here, put that there. And then the guy was like, oppa. And I was like, all right.
Yeah. Would you take a selfie on that donkey?
Oh, for sure.
Me too. Yeah. I'd be going nuts. It'd be hard to get the donkey's head in it, but I'd be trying my best.
Yeah. Mary felt really bad for the donkey, which I get. Like, I am not generally for animals being forced to entertain me, but I feel like riding a horse or a donkey is acceptable. I think
so too. They
depending on the operation.
Yeah, they love it. They've had it happen for so long that it's sort of like they have a innate, very natural connection to us riding all over them. I told you I got to ride a bunch of mules at the Grand Canyon, and it was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. Big Steve was his name.
You'll never forget.
No, I'll never forget. Mary does try to console Meredith, gives her a little sweet, like, check-in, pop-in. Meredith goes, I'm just not having fun. All this stuff about the plane. Can we get over it, please? So I screamed. I was screaming on a plane. I was treating someone like shit. Can we please get over it? Who among us has not...
Next.
Yeah, who among us has not treated someone like shit? Planes are just places. It's not crazier to do something on a plane. And if it was...
Well, it does become a federal crime, whatever crime you do in the air.
Of course. And I like it. But everyone acknowledges that it's the fact that it was on a plane. Like, yes, we have to keep these safe. But I'm still saying, like, it's just a container, a big tube that people can have interactions with if they're mad at each other. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I never want to see people fight. But it's just like, stop making a meal of this, especially Whitney. I'm getting really pissed about, because I don't even know what Whitney's grudge is against Meredith at this point. But anyway, Meredith goes, I'm just having a bad time. They get into their separate, they get into the van going to this split trip, and Heather is really going nuts again. Meredith says, I'm not allowed to speak anymore. It's like I'm too eloquent and educated to be able to speak. And Heather said, it's not that. It's like you're being pretentious and you were dictating to me, which I was like, I didn't even remember Heather saying that she was doing impressions of her eloquent speech and stuff. Did we even see that at the dinner? I guess they were just fighting about so much stuff that who knows?
I didn't even write that down because I was like, I don't even know what they're talking about.
Okay, but then Meredith goes, hold on one second. I got a wonderful call from my son who I like to speak with. And then they all make fun of Meredith. They're like, who takes a phone call in a van from their son on Mother's Day? And then Heather does this elaborate, very funny, comedic, but elaborate impression of Meredith taking the call as if it wasn't real. If I know Brooks, he's definitely calling Meredith on Mother's Day in Greece.
Yeah, I didn't really understand why. I guess, was he calling her the second he was boarding a plane? It was literally the door was closing and he was like, these are my final words before the plane takes off, because she was off of the van like 5 minutes later. She could have just called him back.
I know, but no, I think he was stepping foot on a plane. He goes, Mom, I got to call you. I'm on the tarmac. And I got to call you now. And Meredith is just so bummed out, that I think that when your son calls you on Mother's Day, it just hits pretty hard.
Can I say something rude?
Of course. Sure.
She's not resilient enough for me.
Really, Meredith?
It's like, it gets old. And I think that's why everyone was bullying her, because they were like, yeah, like, we've all been through horrible shit. Like, we've all been treated like shit. We all have problems, but we film the show anyways, and we don't like wander on the streets clunking around crying.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I kept screaming. I was like Emperor Palpatine. I was like, fight back, fight back. Because I was like getting pissed that she was being treated this way, and I really appreciated Lisa fighting for her. But at a certain point, I can't just, if I'm fighting with someone, I can't just point to my friend and say, keep fighting for me. You got to fight for me. Like, no, Meredith has to fight back. Whitney's got you on the ropes. Heather's got you on the ropes. She's beating you up. She hates you. She's trying to take your snowflake. She really hates you, and you need to fight back. Like, are you going to let them bully you off the show? That's why I can't stand takedown seasons, but you have to at least pull out all the stops so they don't bully you off the show.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Especially because she's so established. Like, look at Stacey. She's like she's been on for a season and a half, and she won't let it take her down for a second.
Oh, she said toodaloo too. Tia. She's fighting back. It's awesome. Stacey's a great example. Stacey is, well, obviously Stacey's one of the best cast members in the world, but like, she's actually not letting them bully her. She's kicking people out of her Shio event. And they get mad when Lisa, Meredith goes, I wish I was with my family. And then I was kind of bummed out. Lisa goes, well, I love being in Greece. I don't give a shit about Jack and Henry.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you've lost her.
Yeah, and I was like, Lisa, come on, say stuff nice to Meredith. But
that is annoying when like someone on your trip is like, I wish I was at home. You're like, then fuck off.
Yeah, but totally. And we've been on trips like this where one of the people are miserable, and we're like, get the fuck out of here then.
See the door.
But I just I'm of two minds, but I was a little sympathetic to her. I just because I think they're really, really belaboring this thing. I'm like, right. I'm losing sight of what it even was. And then Lisa goes, we need to get to the real issue. It's between Whitney and Meredith. And Lisa, and then Whitney goes, I want to hear Meredith say what our issue is. And I was just like, I know there's nothing wrong between Whitney and Meredith. What is Whitney's grudge against Meredith?
Right. Is it
that she also was on the plane and she hates
still the plane justice warrior / Alibaba still?
Oh, I don't even know. I wasn't even thinking of Alibaba. And then it's Whitney, or sorry, Heather, or no, yeah, Heather's like, you can't go gray rock on us and let Lisa fight your battles. And then Meredith goes, you were spreading rumors, damaging rumors about me. But it's like, at a certain point, Whitney called you an alcoholic and a pill popper right to your face. You have every right to try to destroy Whitney now. It's on you. She has
Yeah.
to fight back. No
Yeah.
one else will do it. Lisa
Mhm.
can't go scrounge up rumors on the internet again about Alibaba or your failing business. Like, Meredith has to fight back. And it's a kind of it's a sort of a dog eat dog world over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she just wandered off the bus into the wilderness. She was like Jay Kelly,
Oh my
wandering into the woods.
And I'm like, I just saw Jay Kelly. I didn't even think of it. She got off the train and she's wandering. And she wants to leave, but she's like, there's nowhere that I can go. And
Production was like, we will not help you.
I think the guy, the camera person was just like looking at her and they're like, okay, I'm not going down that street with her. She can do whatever the hell she wants. And then they leave her. Like, there's not even Lisa to go after her. She's just on her own. And then they get to this Greek cooking session with that wonderful guy. And he goes, I'm like a Greek salad, half Italian, half Greek. And then Heather says he looks like Zeus.
Cool.
So very, very good, like very good Greek pulls in terms of contextualizing everything, I thought. And then they're on the donkeys, and Lisa says, my donkey looks like a snippy little bitch. It's hard not to look cute standing next to an ass. And I was like, tagline alert.
Yeah, she needs to keep that in mind for next season. Is it on the donkey where Mary is saying that something is off with Meredith?
Yeah, it's on the donkey later. She goes, something's wrong with Meredith. And
then in the clip for next week, she's like crying about it and said like she's struggling and I can see it. And I'm like, do you think Mary's like extra sensitive because of her son right now? Or are they introducing that there's going to be something actually fucked up going on with Meredith that now we have to grapple with?
Okay, let's talk about Meredith.
We need to talk about Meredith.
We need to talk about Meredith. She popped half a Xanny bar on the plane and went into, she popped a half an Ambien and went into an Ambien black hole after a couple glasses of wine. And she screamed for a little bit while she was watching Crazy Rich Asians. And then she passed out and didn't remember what she did. We've all done this on planes. It happens sometimes. You hope to God that you don't freak out on another passenger, but I think it happens. But I think that her morale is low. She's got Next Gen NYC with Brooks, where she's treated like the belle of the ball over there. She loves it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and then she's treated like absolute shit on the show. She's a punching bag, especially from Whitney. And then now it's like E2 Heather. Like, she feels like Julius Caesar going up to have that speech. And then Heather whispers in her ear and says, I'm going to stab you in the back right now. And I feel like it's a little too much. And then Brittany hates her. Angie used her as fodder with the scroll shit. Like, everyone is using Meredith as a punching bag, as their entryway into the holy trinity of the top three snowflake holders, and she's tired of it. I don't think there's any deep. I mean, you'll bring up when she was crying and barfing last year. You're gonna say, obviously, Brittany had a cup to her ear to the door, and she was barfing and crying, and she couldn't get up those steps. Maybe that's a half an Ambien too, but I don't think that there's some deep, horrible trouble in Meredith's life. Remember Next Gen NYC? She was having the time of her life on that show.
Well, all she had to do was pop in for a second. They don't get the dirt on you that way. Like, Kim Zolciak was having the time of her life on that show, and we all know that she calls 911 like every single night of the week.
That's true. Okay, so you're saying that we don't get enough of a glimpse of Meredith's potential problems because she's not really the focus of that. I just don't know if there's some deep thing, but
I'm holding out. I don't know. I could see it. So I'm waiting for some shoe to drop. I have a little inkling. I don't know. But I loved she finally, because she was sick of walking around the mountains in her heels, she was like, fine, fuck it. I'll join this goddamn lunch. And the guy, the sweet Zeus man, was like, welcome, welcome. And he was like, are you okay? How can I help you? And she's like, You're so kind, but these women here have not been so kind. And he's like, the wine make us so happy.
I love that. It's true. Oh my God. You can drink wine almost any time and it makes you happy. And then she really doubles down on what we already talked about. She goes, I just wanted that sweet phone call from Brooks. It would have made my Mother's Day, and I'm so sad. Now he's on a flight to God knows where, and I don't think I'll ever talk to him for weeks. And Brittany goes, I didn't talk to my kid for 3 years. Ha ha. And I was like, Brittany, that's because of the shit
Not a
that you
brag.
did. It's weird for you
It
to
was
say
funny
that.
though. Meredith was like, of course.
Yeah, and then Meredith's just crying. And I really think that I wouldn't treat my worst enemy like that. If someone's sitting at me in Greece getting fed moussaka and they're crying next to me and I don't like them, I'm not letting them cry for very long. And I think that's real. No matter how you feel about someone, no matter how much you want to bully someone and spit on them or whatever the hell they're doing, I just think it's very awful behavior to just let someone cry and not try to make it better for them.
Right. At the over on the donkeys, Lisa's, they're all like, you got to let her speak for herself, like we were saying. And Lisa's like, it's hard for me. Like, it's so much easier for her to just say what she's thinking and defend her. But she's like, I got to step back. And so then they, on the donkeys, go meet and they get the best of both worlds. They get to eat the finished lunch. And everyone just starts doubling down on Meredith saying, we're sick of you crying about Mother's Day. It's an excuse. It's an excuse. And they all agree, like every single person.
Yeah. Lisa just says, "Hey, you love talking to Brooks on Mother's Day, but you're upset about this friendship stuff that's going on." So even she gives that. But that Lisa does say one thing on the donkey where she goes, "Those words they're speaking to me are just going one ear and out the other. I will never stop defending Meredith." And I thought that was kind of awesome. That's the friend you want. I was like, Lisa, are you turning on Meredith by saying you love being in Greece? But she reiterates that she will always stand with Meredith. So that was nice. And then they go, and then Lisa goes, "Let Whitney now and Meredith speak of what bothers them." And I was like, finally, yes, please. And then Whitney just goes, "I'm sorry I called you an alcoholic and a pill popper." So it's like that's it. That's what they're fighting about. They're fighting about the fact that Whitney said horrible things about Meredith, not any huge grudge that Whitney's been holding this entire time. And then Meredith doesn't really let her have it. I mean, everyone's so tired of Whitney.
Yeah.
It's like having just a nightmare on your show, willing to turn on you anytime for fodder, doing anything in the world, no actual loyalty. Heather's been treated like a punching bag 100 times by her. It's just like everyone on the show is just like, I don't want to deal with Whitney. Whatever the hell I got to do to get through this trip with Whitney on board, I'll do it.
Yeah. I think it was Watch What Happens last week with Heather on. Was that last week?
I don't remember.
They were talking about the reunion, and I think she said that, they asked like who was in the hot seat the most or something, and it was Meredith, she said.
Really?
So I'm curious what the topic at hand will be.
Oh my God. I don't like it. I also hated when Bronwyn said Meredith is dead weight. She's like a guest that stays in your house after 3 days. She stinks like a fish. So Bronwyn, you can't say stuff like that. Like,
she hasn't earned her place to say that yet.
No, she can. She's allowed to. She's done a great job.
Meredith does like give me sleeping pill energy, so I'm always just like, I bet being around her is sort of like Sleepy Town.
Yeah, and she proves it again when she talks about that dish that she broke in high school, just like in Risky Business. But you know what I wish that Meredith, not that who cares about my wishes, but I wish that she could calibrate between a 1 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10. Because when Brittany got caught filming, she was screaming.
Yeah.
And you can leave with a huge, big scream. That's like, come, let's go. Like, Lisa can definitely handle the middle. She can give you a 5 out of 10, and she can go 8 out of 10. I wish that there was some variance in what Meredith could bring, but I can't will Meredith into being able to stay for longer if everyone agrees that she needs to be, she needs to be out and people aren't getting any enjoyment out of her anymore. I just have respect for her legacy, and I wish she could pull through this.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got to step it up. They did have a sprightly conversation on the bus on the way back, talking about 10 ones and 10 twos, which we always talk about.
You gotta love it. For anybody who doesn't know, on set, like if you're on set, you have to. They're like, Riley, we need you to come to set immediately. We've got a huge emergency. You can say, I'm taking a huge 10-1 on the walkie-talkie, and they'll know that you're going to the bathroom. And so they're having that sort of conversation about 10-1s, 10-2s, and they mention all the times that they've done 10-1s and 10-2s just on this trip.
10-1-2.
And 10-1-2.
Never heard that.
No, me neither. I've only been on set. I think I've talked about this. I've only been on set once in my 10-year wonderful run where someone ever on the walkie-talkie was able to say 10-2. It was really brave. Everyone clapped on set because no one ever says that.
Yeah, I would never say that. Okay, so then they have pool time. Meredith does a fun gag where they all make fun of her little outfit because it looks like a jacket and skirt. And they're like, hello, darling, we're swimming, not going to a business meeting. And she shimmies off the skirt and it's swimsuit underneath.
Yeah. What'd you think about this?
That was fun. She seemed like she lightened up at this point. I don't know what she did in her room to calibrate, but it worked.
Well, Heather is also going overboard to try to make her feel special. I was wondering at a certain point, I was like, Heather, you're like very self-aware. You know that you bullying Meredith into oblivion is going to look bad, right? And I think she that was noted, like you're causing a cast member to cry. So she was really trying to get Meredith's energy up. And then Meredith is gleeful for a second.
Yeah.
She spins that blazer off.
They do a swim contest, and then she also gets flowers from her kids, which I feel like confirms that they care about Mother's Day. They all agree because they, had to plan ahead for that.
I thought the same thing. Huge win in terms of the importance of Mother's Day in Meredith's life because Brooks and Chloe wanted to honor
international flowers.
And that made her day.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really understand this. While she was swimming, having a race, kind of laughing and being spirited, they put on her business pajamas or swimsuit. And I was like, why are you doing that?
It reminded me of when they put Bethany's swimsuit on Sonia in Mexico, and she's just like flopping around in it.
Sonia was, if I remember correctly, she was a little drunk.
Flopping around, Sonorita.
Yeah, Lisa, when she gets the flowers, I like when people say this. She goes, oh my God, those are beautiful, but I never want flowers. Nobody give me flowers. It's like, when people are like, they wish that they had flowers.
Yeah. I hate flowers. It's okay that I never get them. No. And then they all start talking about like fun high school stuff, like Heather's first kiss and her high school hookup. Angie's like, she dry humped the hottest guy at our high school.
Yeah.
And Bronwyn admitted to having not just kissed, but gone to second base and beyond with multiple ladies, and they're all scandalized. She's like, can we get Whitney out here? I need some other eyes on this that don't think it's a big deal. And Whitney gives her a little peck. And Brittany's like, I've never kissed a girl, but I've kissed 367 men.
Yeah. And they go, how the hell did you tabulate that? And she goes, you use the Excel spreadsheet and use the ad formula. So she's been keeping a spreadsheet for her entire life of all this stuff.
Insane.
Yeah. Do you think that's real?
Well, I have to imagine her kissing history predates a personal computer.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know, but I just thought, like, is this real? Or are you being funny, but it didn't come off tonally? And then Meredith goes kind of like, she's like, spins a chair around. I got a yarn to spill on you all. You're going to think this is crazy. My mother doesn't even know this, so I hope she never sees this. And she goes, I had a huge party once in my house, and we broke a casserole dish. And it goes, big sad trombone. Everybody hates it. Brittany even makes fun of her in the moment. She goes, ooh, you broke a dish. Brittany's like paying Meredith back for the plain shit in her own slow like not slow, like she's slow, but in a very like delayed, delayed reaction.
1,000 cuts.
Yeah, way too late. But she's loving that Meredith is in the hot seat, and she's giving her all these little jabs, which aren't really landing. And then Heather makes fun of her. She goes, "Jeeves, go bring the glue, please," which I guess is alluding to Meredith coming from a rich family that would have a butler named Jeeves.
She's like the queen of the confessional.
Yeah.
gag. I feel like her and her producer have a special relationship, and she lets her do all kinds of kooky shit in there.
Totally, but I wonder what's on the cutting room floor.
Probably some bad stuff.
But Heather's a bully this season, so I mean, she does great stuff in the confessional, but I don't know, she's proving something to me with her these takedowns of Lisa and Meredith. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Her trying to get to that, that vaulted position.
There's something about her though that like I feel like she's the only one I would actually want to hang out with. Maybe Bronwyn. And then Meredith and Lisa feel a little more secretly sinister.
Who?
Like, I don't think Heather feels sinister in real life. And I feel like Meredith and Lisa are like, have potential in real life to be questionable, even though they're funny on camera.
Okay. All right. I would want to hang out with Lisa and Heather. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I want to hang out with Heather, but I think that this is strategic. I don't think it's indicative of Heather's deep personality. I just wonder why she's doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, why is she trying to do a takedown season on two people that she used to love?
Right.
But it doesn't, we'll get to it. And then Mary's not going. She's got jet lag. Oh, I'm sorry. Angie says, let's go have the Greek nightlife at, what was that place called? I don't know. I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know. They go out, I think, for dinner. We don't see them eat, so I don't know if it was just drinks. But Mary's staying in. She needs to rest. And on the way there, Brittany drops the bombshell. I don't know if she thought it was a bombshell or not, but it was that she has trademarked high body count hair. Angie can't fucking believe it, which I'm also like, do you think she actually did it?
I don't know, because how could she? It's been a long time since last year. I mean, I know you can trademark stuff, but it's been a long time, and I would have assumed that they would have been on that like vultures. Like,
right.
It would have been like Angie and Lisa having conference meetings. Like, I would have thought that Angie would have done it. Right. At some point, I couldn't believe it, but I think that Brittany was being honest. And then Angie says, why would you do that? That is so embarrassing. Trademarking something that someone else said. And then in her confessional, she says, the only iconic thing you've ever said is ting, ting, ting.
Never had a witty line in her life.
Yeah.
I'm sure by tomorrow, Twitter will have screenshots of whether or not it's trademarked and who owns it. But Angie was like, she's trying to put her sidecar on my gravy train. And I was a little bit like, Angie, you should have done it. Because even remember on Wife Swap, she brought up high body count hair. She says it all the time. I'm like, it's like how we got turtle time because Ramona let it die. Knock on wood.
Yeah. We trademarked the shit out of it. We ran to.
We probably need to check on that.
Oh, God, why'd we say that? People are going to trademark it. Don't trademark it, please. Let us have it. No, but I mean, but I don't. But then again, I'm also like, Angie didn't, invent that either. She really popularized it, which is what they talked about anyway. And then Angie goes, "It's so embarrassing and weird that you do that." And then she's kind of like, Angie's kind of making fun of her hair again. And then she says, your hair has gotten better, but no offense, it's way too long for your age.
Yeah, she said it looks cheap. She gets really mean when she's talking about the hair. That's her domain, and she'll really rip you a new one when she's talking about your fugly, high body count sheep hair.
Yeah, but Lisa goes, I have the same length, and it's kind of unresolved.
I know, Angie has really long hair. That's the funny part.
But she goes, you make me, when I look and see your high body count hair that's at that length, it makes me want to get a haircut. And it's just kind of, mean. They get to tango, and then Meredith is like, she can hardly contain herself. She's got the bid of the century worked out. She goes, I've got a new business venture with Bronwyn. And I didn't understand this at all. She goes, look at her bag. The straw doesn't work in it. What if there was a flask inside of it and we call it ting, ting, ting? We don't have an announcement, but it's a secret or something. And they go, oh, they go very creative, but they like that it's a play on Brittany, making fun of Brittany. But what? Right. Did you understand what the hell the fake product was?
It was a stretch. It was just a clutch that doubled as a flask.
But and then it said we're gonna call it ting ting ting.
Ting ting. I don't have an announcement because you're not gonna tell anyone that there's booze inside your purse.
Oh, like you can ting 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 this, Because it's a drink secretly within it.
Yeah.
I don't have an announcement. Oh, all right. Wow, I was thinking like Don Draper would have had a field day with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea to, there's all kinds of hidden flasks. Like, remember on Vanderpump Rules, Sheena had the tampons that she forced Shay to drink even though he had a problem. And then they they have all kinds of stuff like that. But, never enough.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Ting, ting, ting. So that was interesting. They all kind of clap for them. And then Angie goes, hey, by the way, enough. She goes, it's embarrassing, Brittany, what you did.
Total ditzarella.
And then Angie goes, she's pissed. Oh my gosh, she's stewing. Angie goes, Brittany's all proud of herself over there. And Brittany's like, I am proud of myself. And it's like, oh, that's so sweet to say
I
that.
love that she's such an underdog, but she pisses people off so much that she kind of low-key wins always because she gets under their skin. And then, I mean, I'll say, I don't think we talked about it, but we mentioned that during the reunion filming that she was performing in New York, and like all of her videos I see online are so good. Like, she's kind of becoming a major fan favorite.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I saw one where she was bringing that unicorn into the cockpit of a plane. She goes, can my unicorn fly the plane? And they said yes. And then it started taking off. And I was like, this is fun as hell, this content that she's doing. And then Brittany goes, so Angie goes, what did you do to earn that trademark? You just had bad hair. And I said something about it. And then Brittany goes, you keep talking about my hair. There must be some threatening aspect to it. Is it because it curls much better than yours? And then Meredith is laughing at Brittany. They're like making fun of her. And I'm like, God, Meredith, no. You were just treated like shit. You have been treated like
she hates Brittany though.
I know, but still, I was just like, you know what it's like. You've been hurt like this, but it rolls out. Like you said, Brittany takes it. Like they don't know what to do with Brittany because they can't make fun of her. She's not. I guess
the Teflon Don.
Teflon Don, not self-aware enough, quite possibly. And Angie goes, no jealousy. I've been nice to you. But Lisa goes, I do think it's weird, Brittany, that you trademark that. It's not your line.
Mm-hmm.
They all kind of agree that Brittany shouldn't have done this.
Yeah. But then Heather does defend her a little bit, says, you didn't invent high body count hair. And Angie goes, okay, so if you call someone a slut, do you own the word slut? And Brittany's like, well, I was smart enough to do it first. And Angie's just so pissed off. And Whitney's like, all right, you guys, this is not great. Look where we are. Can we please just ting, ting, ting.
Yeah,
and
it was
enjoy ourselves.
It was a ting, ting, ting. She goes, high body count means anything. High body count dress. I was like, what is this speech? And then she kind of gets Meredith and Bronwyn into it. And Bronwyn's like, don't lump us into it. What are you talking about? We weren't making fun of Brittany's looks. We were just giggling about it. And then Meredith goes, so Brittany can dish it out, but she can't take it. And it's like, she's being mean. And then when he goes, we're in Greece. We're supposed to be having fun. And here we are talking about trademarks. And they go, enough is enough. Cheers to Santorini.
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, fine.
It could have been a big fight. I thought we were gearing up for it to be continued fighting at Tango, but
I know. Yeah. At one point, Brittany gets up to put her little cover up on, and I was like, oh no, is she going to leave? And they go, are you okay? She's like, yep.
Yeah. Brittany was fine. She didn't care about this stuff.
Yeah.
So I liked this episode, the 10-1, 10-2, high body count trademarks, all that kind of stuff was fun.
Yeah.
I just, we said everything there is to say about it.
Next week, there's besides Mary crying about Meredith's state of mind, Whitney and Lisa have a showdown, and there is wine. I wouldn't say thrown, maybe knocked over, but some stuff happens.
Yeah. I can't wait. They're still in Santorini.
I know. They're making a meal out of it. I mean, sure, I'll hang out here. I don't care.
Me too. I thought that I can't wait. They're going to do that like Sophocles or Antigone. Antigone. Like I remember they're sitting in like the big Zeus.
Yeah, like the amphitheater. Yeah. And they're like, your lies are like a boulder or whatever.
Yeah, I hope to God that's next week because I can't wait for a little sort of Greek tragedy drama to take place. But okay. All right, well, enough of this. Turtle time.
Enough's enough.
Turtle time's concluded.
You'll have a regularly scheduled Southern Charm Beverly Hills episode on Friday, and then you're going to have to just buckle up for the end of the year stuff, because we're going to be doing all kinds of kooky shit because we're traveling, it's Christmas, it's New Year's, and we're just going to have to figure something out. So stay in touch. We'll let you know.
We couldn't even explain what the hell we're doing. It's crazy what's going on at Turtle Time headquarters, but just you'll see it in your feeds. You'll be like, what the hell?
It'll drop. If you were stuck in the absolute terror that was our Spotify episodes disappearing for 3 days, we're sorry about that. That shouldn't happen again, but if it does, we'll be quick to fix it.
I blew up Spotify. No, I mean not sorry.
Not the Turtle Brigade.
Whoa, sorry. I misspoke. I metaphorically blew up. We
got him.
Do you mind if we cut that out? I metaphorically blew up Spotify servers with my video thing that I added video for the first time, or we added video, and we metaphorically blew some shit up. But anyway, it's all back to normal now. I want to apologize for my performance this week. I got back from the desert and I don't have a voice, and I was so tired. But we have to do Turtle Time every single week. It's contractually obligated. We love you. Review us. Patreon. Do all these things. You probably can't get a gift for your loved one, but get them a New Year's Eve gift on Etsy if you want. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can get stuff there.
Never say never.
No, maybe it'll come. A Christmas miracle. We love you so much, and we'll be back this week like clockwork. We love you.